Charles Davis of CBS Sports and also my colleague from NFL Network. Good to see you, sir.
Great to see you.
I love doing the draft with you, man.
It's so much fun, Rich. I'm fortunate to be able to do it with you and obviously DJ and Joel and Peter now. But think
That's
over
right.
the years, a number of people have come through, and I've been fortunate enough to finally join up with you guys for the full go. So I'm pretty happy.
It's been so long. I forget, what was the first one you did?
First one I did was probably Radio City Music Hall, 2007,
Okay.
8. And my first assignment, I actually sat in the crowd.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to come to me for hits. I did one hit that day.
Yeah.
But I remember it, so we'll know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was the Brady Quinn didn't go to the Dolphins draft. And I was sitting in the crowd, and as you well know, Radio City Music Hall was always the Giants are on the clock, the Jets are on the clock, and that's when the noise went up.
Right.
I don't remember too many explosions when Brady didn't get picked at 9 like that one.
That was pretty wild.
That was pretty wild.
And I remember
Ted Ginn got picked.
Roger Goodell took Brady Quinn out of the green room and said, "You go in mine because I'm sick and tired of watching you
And I
on
will
camera."
always commend the commissioner for finally recognizing, because somewhere Leland McElroy,
Yeah.
remember him, Electric Leland?
Sure.
Where was Commissioner Goodell or whoever
Or Aaron
during my
Rodgers,
time?
right?
Aaron Rodgers. Where were they then? Because I really feel for those kids when it happens.
Right.
Because we can't ignore the story. It's happening.
Yeah.
But the number of times they have to sit there and try and hold it together and watching their dreams change and alter, that's tough to watch a kid go through that.
Because you can't tell them at the time, hey, you dropping might actually be better for you. You're going to a better team and things of that nature. But I remember that draft. I totally remember that moment for sure. Back on the Rich Eisen Show radio network, sitting at the Rich Eisen Show desk, furnished by Grainger with supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger has the right product for you. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. One of my favorite humans on the planet, not just because he's sitting here, but I just love your work with Iron Eagle on CBS, calling games, and obviously with us together on NFL Network. Charles Davis here on the program. You agree? Let me put. I shouldn't say this. Let me start this way. The can't miss prospect in this draft is fill in the blank.
Ooh, the can't miss prospect in this draft. Wow, I really like the Fatanu kid from Washington. I just think his versatility and ease of play makes him a guy, but it's not spectacular. It's an offensive lineman.
But that's but I mean,
like
those are the guys who go to the Hall of Fame and make sure quarterbacks go to Halls of Fame.
I just love the way that he plays. What throws me about all of it is, remember Aaron Curry, who's doing a really nice job as a coach in the college level now, doing an excellent job. Every time we talk about the safest pick in the draft, he's going to do this, this, and this.
Right.
Aaron Curry's name now comes up, and I hate that for him. I think he went 6th the year that he came out, but we always said, it doesn't matter. He may not be a superstar, but he's going to be safe. He's going to play, and it just didn't work out. And it kind of helped me in evaluation because he was an outside linebacker. Outside linebackers that don't rush the passer,
yes,
I have to tamp the brakes on because rushing the passer is the name of the game. So we had Aaron Curry. Remember Deion Jordan coming out of Oregon?
Of course.
Much more of a drop linebacker than a rush the passer guy. He went really high. Didn't really work out. I kind of lean more towards the guy that comes forward as opposed to the guy that goes backwards.
But
it's just the way the game is played.
But you don't mention either of the quarterbacks. Don't leap to mind. None of the wide receivers.
I
leap to
always
mind,
struggle with them just because of nature of position. Sometimes it takes a while. Alex Smith took a while to find his way. Now the interesting part with your guy, he found his guy, Harbaugh.
Right.
He found his Bengali later, but your guys already had him, JJ McCarthy. By the way, I've got to sit here and watch him. How impressive is that young man? It's not just because he's a Michigan guy. He's just a wonderful young man.
Well, he's very present. You know what I mean? Like
he gets it.
Very present, and
he gets it.
Have you heard him anywhere say, talking about it? It was a tough pill to swallow, to adjust to Harbaugh.
No, that was really
system.
interesting.
You know?
And specifically mentioned the Penn State game that everyone keeps talking about.
Well, Chad Robinson was about to do damage, and Sharon Moore had to make and that tells you a little bit about Sharon Moore, who's now going to be your head coach. On the spot, okay, things change, guys. How are we going to win this game today?
Yeah.
And what's interesting to me about that is the best quarterbacks that ever played, how does my team need me to play for us to win today?
Yeah.
Those are the best ones out there.
And they're not usually 20 years old.
No.
Being able
for him to figure
process
that out,
and not say anything publicly or
I'm glad he asked the question later, though, because he got a great answer.
Oh, yeah.
And now his process continued in understanding, because he had to go ask the question.
Which is like, do you not believe in me, Coach?
Yeah, exactly, because it was in his head, and I'll guarantee everyone around him, there's a lot of that, hey, what's going on? I mean, JJ, what? He had to ask the question. I'm glad he did. He asked a person who gave him the answer. Mm-hmm. No worrying about it, no getting around it. Boom, and he learned the education. Because Patrick Mahomes, last year,
yes,
he went to Apex Predator as a quarterback in my mind, because last year's team was not the swashbuckling Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Last year's team was, I'll be darned, my defense is not built to play with a 14-0 lead. My defense is built to play.
Right.
Oh, we can turn and hand it off to Pacheco, and Andy Reid kept calling running plays. I don't have the big threat out wide, so I play small ball. Maybe I should take a sack here instead of playing hero, because my defense will pick me up, because he figured it out. To me, all the records, all the great play, all that is phenomenal. But watching him grow as a quarterback over the last 6 games, the playoffs, and ascend to that level, what does my team need from me this week to win, not to pad my stats? Mm-hmm. That's why I said he went to Apex Predator as a quarterback. That's why he went to the legendary status, even though he's still playing, because that's how the greats do it.
And it's amazing that here we are at this draft, Charles Davis, NFL Network, CBS, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. It's amazing we're at this draft, and we're looking at Caleb Williams' wow plays as the next Mahomes. And you just described how Mahomes has taken his game to a whole other level of not either having the guys to give him the wow plays,
right,
or swallowing your pride, if that's such a thing, because of the wow plays. We're seeing that. We're also seeing potentially 3 quarterbacks going to start in a row.
Yes.
Last time that happened, 2 of the 3, as of right now, are now on other teams. The 2 taken after them are on other teams. We might see 5 in the first half of a draft anyway in this draft. Also, deep at wide receiver.
Yes.
Here we are the day before the draft, and the most well-paid wide receiver in the NFL as of this morning is a 4th-round, 112th overall selection in Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's wild how things develop in the NFL, and yet we're still drafting the same way. You got to take these guys at the top, because they could be the next such and such and such and such, and it'll never change.
No, it won't change. And Rich, our colleague Bucky Brooks, former NFL scout, he has said to us, and I listen to these guys, I listen to him, I listen to Daniel Jeremiah, I listen to all these guys who've done it and been there. You grade the flashes. Remember, you've heard that from him before. Well, those flashes of all these players we're talking about are really bright. What determines whether you're going to be the great pro and a continued long-term pro is what you're doing when it's not the flash time. Right? How many times we had a coach talk about a great offensive player in the NFL? He does so many things without the ball that help us. And after a while, you roll your eyes like, oh, what are you talking about? Well, they do the decoy, right? They block. Right? They run the route to keep someone open. They do the fake thing that now the ball goes somewhere else, and they make it all happen. They rally their team on the sidelines and in the locker room. They keep their mouth shut when the adversity hits and only talk when it's supposed. Those are the guys that sustain. The flashes are going to happen because these guys are super talented. But are you going to be able to do all the other things that allow the flashes to occur, and you do the other things that help make your team win ball games? That's why I went back to Mahomes on that. To be able to say to yourself at this stage of his career, wow, I might not throw for 5,000 yards this year, but I'm going to win 2 straight rings, and make it happen and work with your coach. Look, Andy Reid had evolved. How many times do you think Andy was always throw it, we'll run it late? Not anymore, because his team wasn't built for it. And he had a 7th-round running back who was a bowling ball with knives, and he had to hand it to him. And Andy did it and did it and did it. I thought he evolved as a head coach last year.
It's kind of wild. Charles Davis here on the Rich Eisen Show. In the few minutes I have left with you here, your latest mock has New England sticking and picking, but picking the guy who just sat in that seat, JJ McCarthy, not Drake Maye. Why is that?
A number of different things. I mean, you sat with the young man, and just off of the small sample you would get when people see him, you see the maturity, you see all the things there. But I comped him to C.J. Stroud last year, and it's not an apples-to-apples comp. Normally the comp is play style, body type, all that stuff. Forget it. Last year this time, Rich, were we not as a public and a media saying, yeah, we really like C.J. Stroud, but we haven't seen this. We're looking for that. Is he capable of doing this?
The answer is yes.
And the answer is huge yes on everything.
Yes.
Are we not asking the exact same questions this year of JJ McCarthy? It's the exact same grilling. Well, we haven't really seen him do that. He hasn't carried a team. Fourth quarter comebacks. Well, there aren't many fourth quarter comebacks when you're mashing people. Okay, people have to keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. You know, they ran it 28 times, 32 times against Penn State in the second half. The discussion we're having. Well, they were trying to win a football game. But if you watch the tape, in my mind, I'm just speaking for myself, I see the layered throws. I see the plays that are necessary. The Rose Bowl against Alabama, that was 4th and 1 in their own territory.
Oh, my word.
So if anyone was questioning whether someone believed in a quarterback, if you don't believe in your quarterback, you don't give him the ball 4th and 1 in your own territory against Alabama. You punt the ball away and hope your defense holds. Harbaugh sent in a play, and that kid executed it to a T. The throw that Roman Wilson made the catch on, if he doesn't make that play, Alabama wins the football game. Multiple times that when it was that time, JJ McCarthy showed up. That's why I'm a big believer. The other part is I had to kind of break a tie with him and Drake Maye. 2 things break the tie. Robert Kraft loves Tom Brady, and Tom Brady came from Michigan. And this kid came from Michigan. And he wants a quarterback, and he may very well say to Elliott Wolf, you know, that Michigan kid's pretty good.
We're going back to the Wolverine store.
We're going
to the M-Den.
So we're going to run it back. Yeah. You know what else? Came from Michigan. Weather can get a little dicey. New England, weather can get a little dicey. Drake Maye's at North Carolina. Can't say it doesn't get dicey, but not like New England and Michigan. Sometimes you're just taking a shot, Rich, and I really am. But I believe he fits that New England culture and what they're trying to do there with Gerard Mayo. And by the way, they have a talent evaluator there now that no one's talking about who's really good at it, and Alonzo Highsmith. You won't hear his name as much as you should, but he'll be in that room with Elliott Wolf. Yep. No one better evaluating talent. I have not talked to Alonzo. I haven't talked to anyone there. It's much more of a feel, and I put McCarthy there at 3.
And if that happens and Drake Maye's available at 4, then Monty Austinford's phone is ringing like
blowing
crazy. Up. And so where do you think Maye winds up if
Minnesota.
And Minnesota comes to go get him?
I would imagine they will. My mock, I didn't do any trades, and I still have Drake Maye going to Minnesota at 11, which isn't really likely. But I think he goes there, and to me, that's central casting. And frankly, I think that's what Minnesota wants. I think Drake Maye's their target. That's just my sense of what I'm getting, is that he's the guy that they want anyway. And can you imagine, I mean, Kevin O'Connell last year, remember I'm mentioning how people evolve and change? His first year was 13-4. Now it was a high wire act 13-4, because how many games did they win by 1 score?
Right.
Set an NFL record that year. You knew they'd take a step back last year. I thought they'd take a big step back. He kept them competitive all year, and all of us got turns at playing quarterback last year. That was impressive what I saw last year from Kevin O'Connell, who knows how to coach quarterbacks. Heck, my man Josh Dobbs came and did a great job.
The pastronaut.
Right? But that first week, he was coaching him through the headset.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just got there.
That.
And Josh executed, and Kevin did it. I just think Kevin O'Connell is ascending himself into an elite level of coaches. And Drake Maye, if he gets with Kevin O'Connell, I think that'll be a big win for him.
Before I let you go, you think Penix fits best where? Not winds up, but
Las Vegas. He fits Las Vegas because it's a cultural thing. Mark Davis is the son of Al Davis.
Yes,
and he can still hear his voice in his head.
Throw deep, baby.
Throw deep, baby. The quarterback must go down hard. All those things. Warren Wells flashes in his mind. Cliff Branch flashes in his mind. Unfortunately, Henry Ruggs, that's why they picked him, because Mark Davis saw that.
Right.
These are the types of things they'd love to get back to. DNA, you don't mess with it's hard to throw DNA out. Mark Davis still owns that team, and he'd sure as heck love to see somebody throwing that bad boy deep. Now, they got to get people for him. Devontae Adams, can he go deep? Yes, but you don't have that super burner. They got to get that. But this kid Penix, you don't even have to get the feet set, and that bad boy comes off his hand with dispatch.
I know, and it also looks like the NFL film spiral every single time.
Oh, yeah, just slow it down and put a little music with it, and somewhere John Facenda starts to speak.
Great to see you, Charles Davis.
Great to see you as well. Looking forward to the few days. It's going to be good.
I can't wait. We got a rehearsal
Bundle
tonight,
up.
and you got the mock draft with Daniel Jeremiah on NFL.
Yeah,
Network
looking
tonight.
forward to seeing DJs. It looks like it's going to be pretty strong.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.